What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Steve from Printer Gang Investments, here to give y'all a quick 2026 breakdown of the stocks I'm looking at and the themes I'm looking at for 2026. So after 2025 continued to run, like the Palantirs, Nvidia, it did its thing. A lot of companies kept growing. At this point in the AI game, all of our top picks are starting to get crowded. Everybody knows about them. You've even got people saying in the comments, I didn't really buy Palantir between 10 or 20. That's how mainstream it's got. So from a stock trading point of view, that's cool if you're just dollar cost averaging in. Like if you're just buying more here and there, that's cool. But we can't necessarily do the things we once did with those options on Palantir unless they start to report more on earnings. We're going to need a bigger catalyst because everything's went mainstream now. So the way I see it is that core basket, the Palantirs, the Nvidias, even AMD is starting to rise up. Let me think, what else do I like in that list? Broadcom a little bit, like Google, of course, Google's now going. Amazon, those are there. So those are like core picks you can continue to dollar cost average into, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm looking at next, I'm looking at stories now. I'm looking at a few stories. Like the energy thing continues. Last year, we made money off Oklo. That's still risky because they don't have the numbers, but people know they're going to be necessary, so they're front running the price, and that may continue. That's why we bought Oklo early in the first place. But there are more things going on the power grid that I'm going to get into deeper in another video. But we're starting to look at stocks like Constellation Energy and Bloom Energy because the demands for AI power are getting extreme. Like I'm hearing like certain companies, like I think Meta, I don't know if it was Meta that did it. Some companies are talking about starting their own power plants because they can't get enough power from the city. So there's definitely going to be more money to be made in the energy sector of AI. We have to, watch earnings catalysts to narrow it down and figure out who the core pit is going to be besides like just Oklo. But there's more stuff going on in the energy sector. Now, my biggest theme that I'm looking at now is the agents, the agentic workflows, and people in the real world may not get it yet because unless you're in business and you're using these things or you're around AI and you understand what that's about to do to business, the agents are the future workers. They done replaced us, man. Like, people think the AI has to be as smart as a regular person. No, it just has to be good enough to do the work of 10 people. See what I'm saying? And have one person check over it and make sure it's straight. And we've been there. We've been past there. So what people are understanding is these companies want money. And this is a good old-fashioned bet on corporate greed. Do you think if there's a way that these companies can use this technology to pay less of us or make us do more work for the same money, you think they're not going to master that technology? I'm not taking that bet. I'm pretty sure they are. So the main companies I'm looking at to not just bet on this, but to see what's going on, I'm looking at Microsoft, Palantir, ServiceNow, Salesforce, UiPath, and there's a new stock that people have been talking about. Shout out to my boy Amit Kukurija, Zeta. I'm watching all of these stocks to see what's going on with the others. Now, of course, we already like Palantir. Microsoft is cool. If you want to buy Microsoft, it's been here for 100 years. But I'm watching these to see what happens with ServiceNow. Right now, ServiceNow is my bullish pick, I think, for the aging game. I think they're the one that's going to get control. Now, we could be wrong. That's why we're watching all these updates. I want to see what they report on earnings. I want to see about seat compression. Like, I'm looking at HubSpot because HubSpot could potentially be on the wrong side of this. The thing that's different about this part of AI versus the other parts, last time the winners were clear. Like Nvidia was clear as day because no one else was making those chips. So all you had to do was buy Nvidia. With Palantir, your AI is going to hallucinate if you don't use Palantir. I was arguing in the comments today, someone was talking about AI hallucinating. That's because we're regular people. We can't afford the shit it takes for your AI not to hallucinate. They got it, but it's $10-20 million plus. That's why Palantir went from 10 to 200. They sell the software that stops your AI from hallucinating. So they're locked in. They don't really got no competition there. So that's why that was an easy trade. It was another trade with little to no competition. This is different. Agents are different. There are a lot of people that not only have agents, there are people that were in these businesses before the agents even came out. Salesforce is a prime example. They've always been doing marketing. They've always been doing CRM. But now we got marketing and CRM agents. They have their own agent force, but the question is not clear cut like a Palantir, because it's like UiPath's trying to do the same thing. I'm hearing this company Zeta might be trying to eat their lunch. So that's why we're saying a lot of these stocks are a show me story, a prove me story. We got to see who really gonna get the control right now. Like, but one thing I do like, and that's why I like ServiceNow, it seems like they really could be the control layer, the service, the toll booth for these agents. Because I'm not seeing a lot of research that this company is doing something that's getting in ServiceNow's pockets. I'm seeing everybody competing with the other companies. But coming up, earnings is going to be real big this year. We're probably going to be doing earnings breakdowns. Me and my agents, we're going to be going through these metrics. We're going to be showing you guys what to look for, because we're going to have to get real in depth this year if we really want to keep, being early, making the kind of gains we made in the past. Like, and of course, past performance is not indicative of future results. But what I'll say is Palantir's earnings coming up. I got shares of Palantir, so of course I wanted to go up. But what I'm really looking for, I want to see them talking about agentic usage. I want to see that they've been deploying more of their systems for companies using agents, because that will show the growth in agents, which relates to the other stocks, the Salesforces, the ServiceNow, my big pick. I want to see what the other companies are announcing and see how it affects the picks, basically. Same thing with Microsoft. Microsoft's a layer higher, but if we see large Microsoft adoption of agents, it could pass through into companies like ServiceNow. So what we're really doing is we're looking for clues. We're looking for clues out here right now. Like me personally, I'm just adding to the same old, same old. I'm not fucking with the options really heavy. Right now, I'm trading futures and a little bit of QQQ, but I'm not really going crazy with individual stock options. That's why we ain't got no update right now. There's no YOLO update because I don't have a new YOLO. Palantir is not a YOLO anymore. If you go all in on Palantir at 200 or 180, the way I did at 8 to 20, they're not the same game. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. If you're buying Palantir or a stock that's up there like that, you have to go in slow. You have to make it 5% of your portfolio, 10% of your portfolio. I knew the story early, so I was able to go overweight, very overweight. That's why I got a bunch of shares now. But the game has changed. So what we need to be doing, we need to be sticking with our core picks. You know what I'm saying? We need to be looking like at adjacent fields as well. Like, it hasn't popped off, but I like banking right now. They seem like they're going to be a beneficiary of AI. Plus, half the stocks in there give a dividend anyway. So you get safety and potentially growth that's not priced in yet. So I like that. Then, last but not least, I've got quite a few shorts this year. Not that I'm going to go short on them, but I'm watching them to see what happens, to see what that can affect. Like, I'm looking at HubSpot. Does it go down because of people taking their lunch, agents taking off? Same with Salesforce. Same potentially with UiPath, but UiPath's a wild card. It could actually moon or tank. So I'm watching that one as a wild card. I'm looking at DoorDash and Uber because that's giving us a sign on what's going on in the economy. Like, they've been facing a lot of regulatory pressure over a lot of things they've been doing. Like, they've been playing with driver pay. They've been playing with the restaurants. They've been playing with the customers. And from a stock market point of view, they're doing all these things in order to keep themselves profitable. They're not doing it because they're evil. They're not doing it out of spite. They're doing it because that's the only way they could be profitable. And I'm thinking, does that hold up? Does that hold up as regulatory comes, as more pressure comes, as competitors notice what's going on? Will they be able to keep it in line? So I'm watching that. It's a lot of things I'm watching. We're going to be going in depth on a lot of these stocks. We're going to find our next picks. But right now, just stay calm. It ain't time to YOLO yet. You know what I'm saying? We waiting for these earnings. I want to see what the big companies report. I want to see these metrics. And get used to the term seats this year. We are looking at software seats, man. We're not just looking at PE. We're not just looking at these basic metrics. We need to see what's going on with these software seats. That's going to determine a lot of who wins and who loses. But it's your boy Steve from Print Gang Investments. I'm going to be back with another video soon, man. And y'all keep learning. Y'all keep up to date in this AI game. Don't get left behind. I'm gonna see y'all soon.